Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum, viewers. Uh, this is in this session we are going to discuss a very common issue, which is related to the structure of the workbook. Normally, uh, when you create a system, when you develop a system and implement it, and you use a certain protections and uh, certain things in which you want user not to uh, enter uh, or modify the thing, right? So every file has its own structure, and your code is dependent on this structure. For example, you are looking up a range, and when you look up a customer ID, for example, right? Then in say if you want to pick the job title, right? And so it is uh, on F column, that is the sixth column offset, right? One, the first is ID, and this, and second, third, fourth, fifth, and sixth is different. What would happen if somebody comes in your absence and you say, and he inserts or deletes a column? So this will disturb your lookup, right? So, and you would not know. You would at least like to know that this has happened. Hmm? Instead of uh, delaying it, means if you file in or you run and report, and then you come to know something has happened to it. Why not? It is done. Some Why not we have a we should have a, monitoring system, a watch on it as soon as it happens. First of all, it should not happen, right? So for this, we use the protection. That's fine. A review, you go to the protect sheet, protect workbook. That's fine. But most of the time, users don't want to use this protection sheet, you know, because that causes plenty of other problems. Right? So you get stuck up. So you would need to know if something has happened so that it can be rectified. Uh, Instead of implementing the protection in it, mm, you you would love to know that uh, some deviation of the structure has occurred. As soon as it occurs, then you should know that. Or with a click of button, for example, you create a button in here, and when you click the button, it validates, and that to to find out that all the columns are properly placed or not. Is there is If there is any thing disturbance in the columns or violation of the structure has happened, so the that procedure should alert you, give you the message that this thing was the job title was supposed to be on app. It is no longer an app, for example. Right? So, for example, I put a change in this job title, for example, in custom. Right? Now I want here a button to to that should intelligently tell me that your job title is no longer a job title of as it was previously. Means it is changed. So we use a sheet validate. Hmm? We have created a sheet, a new sheet, named it as validated. and we wrote a procedure in it, and as soon we click on it, tells it verifies, it lists down all the structures and finds out, and it finds out there is a validation error at row number 6. This one, that is customer, and that is job title. One, you have managed to at least find out that when you click the validate, hmm, it it identifies you that it is supposed to be job title, whereas you have put a job title, you have changed it, right? Okay. If you click back, you remove and you click validate, so no error in that. Okay, no error. If you, for example, take any other thing, for example, you take your first name of the employee, for example. Hmm? You want first name X, for example, whatever. Usually you put this, right? And you now validate. So it says this is in the row number 7. Here's the first name issue. Row number 7 is M sheet, and M sheet has a first name issue, right? That's right. First name issue. That's good. So, so very simple procedure has been written that lists down all the structural means map of the columns, and then it validates it, right? So let me get it back to this so that it is the validation. So what we have done is we have simply added a sheet, validate its name. You can give any name, and but then you have to use that the same name. And then you go to read code and write this small set of macro. Yeah, we will explain it to you very soon. The in we are using 1 is not equal to 1 means do not execute this anymore. We did execute it at the time when we wanted to list down the entire structure and freeze it, right? So, for example, we want just some change, then we have to make it equal to, right? We otherwise, as soon as we finish editing the structural change, uh, then we will bring it back to 1 is not equal to 1, right? So that by doing so, we are saying do not execute it anymore, right? Okay. So it will come directly to here, to the next row, yeah, and it will start validating on the basis of the information which you have, right? So we will explain it in later, but for the time being, what we have been doing so far was that we put a button in here. Yeah. Let's go to the Alt F11 and add a new button to do the validation. Yeah. So we start from the bottom. For example, here the last button was this. Fair enough. So this 40 will become 41. Okay. Press here. We make it 41. 41. And this is going to be this validate the VBA structure, workbook structure, validation. Okay. And here we write this is a go, it means validate workbook structure. The structure. Okay. Fair enough. So this is only the comment and this is. So this is the one part. You remember, we have to use another thing that is the face ID of the right. What will we do? We will copy the leftmost is 475. Let's make it for instead of 475. Let's use 485. For example. Okay, fair enough. Because each number comes up with a new face ID with a new shape in the of the button. Okay. So as soon as you click on it, then this is going to be performed, and this is just the making it visible and making the validation visible, selecting it. As soon as it selects it, the view code, the code of the uh, what you say it is validate sheet will start executing. Yeah, this code is going to be executed, and this is going to check if there is any changes, and it will return. It will give you error that this change has been identified. So you can make the adjustment. So let's run the let's run this macro. So that our toolbar gets activated and reactivated. Now you have a new button in here. It tells validate those. So it will just activate if you are sitting here. Okay, you, for example, you are here. You say company name, company, company name, for example. Now you have changed the the structure, the name of the column, right? So now you click it here. So it is going to tell you that you have made changes in the customer, that is row 6, right? And that is the company, right? So in here, you you go back and you remove this here from here, right? So yeah, and then you click it. And so it's fine, no issue. And it has also hidden and it has um, made that sheet hidden. Means even you cannot be able to unhide it. Okay, it is highly hidden, and you can do it uh, if you want to make adjustments, if you want to make the changes in the set. So what is the way of it? You go to this button, and when it is trying to do it very hidden, just put a breakpoint, so that you can see what is happening. Yeah, yeah. It it is now it has uh, it is about to hide it, so you can go and see the code of the validation code. When it is activated, this is performed, and we will explain you in the next session that what is this code is doing and what is the logic, right? So this is a good function which can be used at, for in any of your system. Just all you need to do is add a new sheet, name it as a validate net, the same name, and then you go to view code, and then you can press Control A, Control C, and go to the newly inserted sheet, validate sheet, and put go to view code and then paste it there, right? So this is the first part, and the second is the button part. The button part is available here, yeah, and this is at the moment it is running and it is on the breakpoint. So let's remove this breakpoint from here. Okay, so you can check it again if you want to. For example, this was a blank sheet. Yeah? If you say A here, right? So what would happen? And click click on this there. So it is going to tell you that the row validation error at row number 5. Yeah, you have now that is A, right? And because it is supposed to be blank and you enter. Huh? So what you do, you go to the order, remove this, and then you will see that nothing going. That's it. Okay. So then see you in the next session. We will uh, come up with a complete description of the logic. Thank you.